right, so we've got the pre-workout sequence. We're going to run through all of this stuff to get you prepared for your workout. Okay, we've got the roller out, we've got the mat out, we've got the balls and everything. So just know that the pre-workout sequence is to prepare you for performance. So we want to give your body the best chance it can to perform the best it can in a pain-free circumstance, okay, during your workout. So we're going to work through for your squat to start with. So we have to think about what muscles we're going to use for our squat, and that is predominantly our legs, right? Quads, glutes, hammies, calves, maybe a little bit, and probably up our back is quite a good idea to stretch and roll those out. So SMR, self-myofascial release, we just want to get down on the ground, use a roller. You can use a ball or a roller. Roller is probably a bit more effective for your quads. So just on one side there, you're just going to oscillate up and down through the quads there and just sort of roll around a little bit, finding those little spots there. Probably in the center of your quads is best, just to release the neurological system a bit.
Not sure about.
Siri talking to me. And then we just want to roll to the side slightly onto your vastus lateralis, that lateral quad there, and just flex. We're just going to floss your quads there. Move that down a little bit. Oh, mine are pretty sore from yesterday. So onto the other quad as well. So you only spend about 20-30 seconds each side. I always think it's best to do them individually, not do them together. A lot of people want to do them together, but individually is a bit more effective because you can lighten the load and not be in a big pain response on the roller. So off to the side, that lateralis, flexing the leg. And then we want to go over to the glutes. Glutes are probably one of the prime movers for your squats. So you're just finding those spots on your glutes. Probably if you find a little hot spot, you can just move back and forth like this. Even pressing out like this is quite good as well, flossing again. Try and get right up to the top ends of your glutes, so right up the top of your pelvis there, which is almost lower back region there, yep. And then the other side there. So again, rolling the glutes. Finding that spot and pressing out. Again, finding that top end there. And then I would go over to our TFL, which is just above your femur on the side here, and just rock back and forth like this. So it's still on your hips here, but not down on your ITB, just above your femur, edge of your hip bone there. You'll find that that's a bit nervy for most people. Just a few rocks back and forth there. But then to the other side. So again, rocking back and forth. Good. Then for your squats, I think it's always good to just release your thoracic a little bit too. So you want to give yourself a big hug here as much as you can, and then just rocking back and forth between your shoulder blades there. You can just do that nicely. And then rest in a spot and just opening up like this. It's quite nice. Hopefully by now already you can start to feel like, oh, I'm going to be performing really well in a pain-free state. I mean, moving really well and feel a bit looser. All right, so after that stage, the next step is stretching, so in an oscillatory fashion. What I like to do for my squats, I've got one of these soft mats down here, so it's nice, a bit more comfortable. And we're just going to lean into our hip flexors here. Remember, a majority of us, just oscillating in and out of this, majority of us are sitting down quite a lot in the Western world, so we're accustomed to that chair, so we want to get into the depths of our hip flexors here and just easing them out. So your easing in and out of this, so oscillatory fashion stretching, not because you are starting to prepare for movement, right? So we're not just staying stationary. Stationary long-term hold stretches is promoting recovery, right? But we're about to perform, so we want to start stirring up and creating a bit of movement in the muscles, creating a bit of blood flow, getting them right ready to go. So that's why the oscillatory motion is important. Good. I'd come back to the other side again now, but this time let that leg go out to the side a little bit. Prepare yourself like this. So leaning that out to the side like that. You want to reach this inside arm up like this, and then back down. Try and get that elbow to the ground, open it up. So you're getting a double whammy here, because you're, well, triple whammy really. We're getting through our thoracic, the big nice twists, not mobilizing, in through the glutes, and through the groin, and through that hip flexors there. So really nice. I'll do this half a dozen times. And then over to the other side. Again, I like a little wiggle here is quite nice. Already starting to get a little sweat on just from the stretching and the rolling and the SMR and the stretching. Good. And then hamstrings are going to be doing a fair bit of stuff there too. So I like to just hang down here, do a few like jiffs and pulses like this. Really. You can also progress this to a bit of a walk, which accelerates things. Really nice feel and stretch there. And finally, a bit more of a stretch through your quads here. And I would just try and press your foot into your hand here nicely. Trying to open up a little bit there. And just come in and out of that nicely. Creating that sort of oscillatory motion through your quads. Other side. So you see that it doesn't take long. You don't have to spend ages in these stretches because we're not preparing to rest or recover. We are just preparing to perform, and we want to get the best out of our workout and not create any stress, right? Next up is corrective exercise, stage 3, if you can see that. If you can see that on the wall, multiple places here. And corrective exercise is made to do something that will increase your coordination and your focus, something that will bring your awareness and focus together, ready for what you're about to do, because we want it to be focused, right? Easy one to do for squats is a pretty standard one, which is a great one to do, and there's lots of variations of it. Siri talking to me again. Is the bird dog. So you want to start in this quadruped position, so on all fours, and then we're going to reach up, pushing your heel out strong and spreading those fingers out really strong across that whole posterior chain, bringing back. What you're trying to do is leave the ground at the same time and get really strong here, and then back down, landing at the same time. Leaving the ground at the same time, then back down. Creating this focus on coordination and stability, right? Now, you can use all sorts of things here to make this a bit harder, to gain more focus, and that is probably starting with this sort of thing. So you're doing this, right? Foam pad, right? That makes it pretty hard. If you're at that level, you might grab the ball, right? Put that there, right? Obviously makes it a bit more difficult to keep it balanced there. You could put the foam roller on your back there. You could also do some sort of crawling there as well to make that a nice corrective exercise. So that's corrective exercise. Now we want to activate, right? So activation wise, let me just grab a little band. We grab one of those micro bands. Which are hanging up over the wall. One of these guys. We're almost ready to lift. What I would do is put these around your legs like this. We're going to use the bench today you could do glute bridges or you could do glute thrusters. So we're stirring up and activating through these muscles here. Really getting them nice and stirred up. So you want to do 20 odd of these, just really getting your glutes primed and ready. You should be able to feel that nice activation through your glutes and hammies here. Obviously you could mix this up and do some single leg work here as well. Another one I really like to add in here is a nice crab walk like this. So you're just getting your glute medius working really hard and your TFL and abductors there working hard. Right, so a few of these so you can really feel this starting to activate nicely. And even a few deep squats there with the band on too. Great, now what I would do now into foundational movement, which we've kind of already done there, you want to do 30% of what your working weight's going to be, and depending on what style of squat you're going to do today. And you want to do 10 reps, so just getting yourself aware of what's happening, what the movement's going to be, getting yourself right down to the deep range. Really focused, ready to go. And then what we want to do is grab 60%, so it says up here, 60% at 6 reps. So you're starting to prepare yourself. For the sake of this video, I'm just going to grab a 15, pretending that I was doing probably a 25 kilo goblet squat. And we do 6 reps. The foundational movement. 6, good. Then the final stage, so should be feeling fairly warm by now, loose and ready to go. Next step is our CNS prep, our central nervous system prep. And what we want to do, set up something like this. So you've got the bottom of the cage, the safety arm ready, and we're going to try and lift the matrix out of the ground here. So it looks like this. Have a look in the mirror with me. Shoulder blades back in squat position, and we're going to push. So 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then I've got this set up just to help me with a little bit of a squat jump to get that plyo. So 2, 3, because we just want to stimulate our central nervous system as much as possible and then get that plyo out of it. So again, we do this 3 times. So 4, 3, 2, 1. Feeling really warm now. 2, 3. Good. This just helps you land softly as well, so I think it's an important part. We've got 1 more to go and then we're ready to lift. Let's go. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and 3, 2, 1. Woo! That is your pre-workout sequence. Give yourself a minute or so now. Get yourself right ready to lift. Put the maximum weight or the next lift that you're going to do for your foundation or primary exercise. You're good to go. Let's do it.